Andy McNamara from WCZR Code Zero Radio here with Art from Everclear.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Good to see you again.
You had just recently, last year, got off the 30-year anniversary tour of Sparkle and Fade.
I did.
And it was, the vinyl came out a few weeks ago, the double vinyl.
Yeah, it didn't work out the way we wanted. We wanted the vinyl to come out before, but we were dealing with a super huge international corporate conglomerate called Universal Entertainment, and they just take their sweet time. They got it done. The package looks great. I've seen it. I've signed it, but have I gotten mine and the band? No, we haven't gotten ours yet. So, but I think the package came out good, and the new remaster sounds really great. So I'm really proud of it.
I mean, this album has a strong Wisconsin connection because it was recorded at Smart Studios in Madison.
At Smart Studios, yeah.
What attracted you to Smart Studios?
I loved, everybody thinks of Nirvana and all that stuff, but they didn't record Nevermind there. They didn't record anything there. Smashing Pumpkins recorded their first album there with Butch. I just love the sound of it. I have always loved Wisconsin. I just do. It's just people here are really nice. I like the food and I like the culture. And it was a nice place to be for 3 weeks in the summertime, And that's what we did in the summer of '94. We got signed in June, and we spent about a month at my house writing songs and working up songs, and then we came out and did it and got it done. And it was really cool because at the time, Butch was upstairs working on this project with him and Steve and Duke. They didn't have a name for it yet, and they were working with a girl singer, a female singer from Scotland that they had never met in person. They just talked on the phone, and that's what became Garbage. And a lot of nights after we were done and the band went home, I'd go upstairs and hang out with Butch, and he'd smoke a cigar, and he'd play me what he had going on, and I'd bring tapes from downstairs, and he'd give me, he'd give me some pointers on it and stuff like that, and he let me use, when I started doing vocals, he let me use one of his badass 50-year-old mics at the time. Now it's 75-year-old mic, 80-year-old mic. And we became friends, and that was really a special time for me. Do you guys remember the restaurant, the Blue Marlin? In Madison, a seafood restaurant. It was one of the best seafood restaurants I've ever been to because they flew everything in, and he took me there once. But, yeah.
Well, it's interesting to me because you produced the record, Sparkle and Fade.
I produce all our records.
Which is it's a big thing to take on, as well as the songwriting and everything else.
I've always done it. I've talked to other producers. They don't get it. They just don't get what I want to hear. So I got to do it.
You had most of the album written, but you wrote Strawberry in Madison, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, I talk on stage. I talk about that on stage. So we were in Madison, and in the middle of making the record. And at the time I was about 5 years sober, clean and sober, and I had a dream that I had gone off the wagon, and I was shooting up in a car and drinking and got into a car accident, and people got killed, and I woke up from the dream like, oh my God, thank God, when you have a bad dream and you're like, oh, thank God that isn't real. And then I went to sleep and I went right into the same dream. It happened 3 times. Finally I got up and said, screw it. I got up and I wrote the song in the middle of the night, 3:30 in the morning, and went to bed, woke up at about 9, finished it, and then called the studio and said, tell everybody not to come in, just me and engineer, and I'm going to record this by myself. I did all the vocals and all the guitars.
Do you remember which hotel you're staying at?
Yes. It was the Best Western, right at the top of State Street. When you go to the top of that and it goes up that little hill.
Oh.
And right, there's the green space over there. Yeah, and right there on the right as you go up, and right before you get to the green space, there's there used to be a Best Western there. And that's where we stayed. That was the only hotel in town. really, other than like a motel or something.
And you liked the studio enough where you returned. You were there during the flood of '96 at Smart with Frogpond. Can you tell me how that whole event unfolded?
Well, they wanted to record, and I really wanted to record their next record. They were signed to a smaller offshoot of Columbia and Columbia Records, and so I did that. It was low budget. The girls their drummer wasn't really ready to make a record, but we worked it out. We rehearsed for like 3 days. I brought my drummer to help communicate to their drummer on what to play, show her things and stuff. And we knocked it out in a weekend, literally in a weekend. And it came out pretty good. I just listened to that record. Have you ever heard it?
I did.
Yeah, I just listened to it. For the money that we spent on it, it was like a couple of grand. Or no, it's more than that. But
was it during tracking of that where the rain came and the basement flooded?
Oh, I think it had flooded like a few days before.
And you were actually there pulling stuff out of the basement, weren't you?
Yeah.
Was there just a desperate attempt to get as much out of there as quickly as possible?
Yeah, I don't really remember that. I remember that it rained and it flooded, but I don't remember that it was like a bad thing.
Here's a historic picture of the flood line in the basement on the ceiling. CC says flood of '96.
I wonder if I'd like to see what the dates were on that, because I wonder if that happened like we left before it got really bad. I don't really remember too much, but I do remember that it was flooded. But I don't remember that we had a problem with gear or anything, because we recorded upstairs where where Garbage recorded their stuff. For Sparkle and Fade, we were downstairs in the bigger room.
So I've got a question. This is what the studio space looks like today.
Is that someone's house?
Yep. A woman named Nika Allen lives there. Do you remember where you did the vocals for Sparkle and Fade?
Is this downstairs?
Yep.
Okay.
So the board would have been right here.
So there would have been a glass wall right there?
The glass wall is still there. The whole footprint of the studio.
I did the vocals right in front of the glass wall.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they just built me a little space, with gobos and stuff like that. And then I'd have to see a picture. This just looks like some girl's house. It's too clean to be a guy's house.
Have you seen the Smart Studio Story documentary yet?
I haven't. You have this as well?
Yep, I do.
Because I have a DVD player at home.
It's yours. Looking forward, you've been working on some new Everclear music, haven't you?
I have.
Can you let me know if it's along the same vein as the past?
It's loud, fast. And there's some offbeat songs, and I want to put some strings on like a couple of songs, but I want to keep the production really rough, and it's very political. So yeah, it's going to piss a lot of people off.
Well, and you've never shied away from being political. You had the year of the tiger.
That's what I tell people. I tell people that. They're like, "Why don't you stay in your lane? Why don't you do what you've always done?" I am. You haven't been paying attention. I trust me. Yeah, but it's going to be fun. We've got we're getting together and working out 4 or 5 songs at a time idea, and go in the studio with about 14, 15 songs, get the best 10, 11, 12 out of them.
Are you using home studio stuff nowadays? Are you going into an actual studio still?
Well, no, yes and no. So we work with this guy, like the guy you talked about, Year of the Tiger, the guy that we did that with, Jim Kaufman, has a studio at his house. Basically his house is a studio, and his family lives upstairs. But it's amazing. He's got crazy gear. And we're looking forward to doing this record there. And not being all in like for a month in the studio and then 2 weeks off and then a month mixing. We're just going to go in like in April for about 5 days, May for about 5 days, June for about 5 days. And the whole time he's mixing. And if I need to do vocals, I live about 30 miles away, and he'll send me mixes and I'll tweak it. So I think we'll have it done hopefully by the summertime. I'd like it to come out this year, but I don't think it will. I think it will come out probably early next year. I don't even have a label yet. I mean, I'm not even looking. I've had people offer me, they've heard that I'm working on a record. I'm like, wait till it's done. And then I'll pitch it to people and dictate what I'll do. Well, I'm at that point in my career, I'm just not like, even like a major label is like, hey man, we could do a deal. I can get you a deal with, blah, blah, blah records. And I'm like, not interested. Not really. Because they all want a piece of everything.
Right.
I ain't doing that.
Well, can we expect a 30-year treatment for So Much for the Afterglow as well?
Oh, we're doing it.
Excellent.
For sure. I'm already working on digging out the songs. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to remaster it, and we're going to pull songs out. It's going to be fun. And we'll do it on vinyl, too.